Hi, my name is Quinlan Harsh, and who here has killed a plant before? Because I most certainly have. So I'm going to talk about what it takes to properly take care of a plant, and more importantly, how to repot a plant. So, the main reason why your plants have probably been dying isn't because you're forgetful or you forget to water. You're probably like me, and you're giving your plants too much fertilizer or too much water. And a very important part of that is making sure that your plant is getting adequate drainage. So, I'm a horticulture minor and a bio minor, and I'm currently taking the soil science class here at FSC, so I should know a little bit about what I'm talking about. So please, please, please take my advice. First thing that you want to do with any plant is you're going to research it, and you're going to find out what it is that your plant needs. Your plant needs one of four things. The first is lighting. For example, this would be moderately bright light. If your plant requires bright light all the time, then you're going to want to add or put it next to a window. Next, it's going to be air and water. So if your plant has just pure potting medium like this, odds are that it's going to not drain properly. And if you're like me, you will overwater your plant and it will die from rot. So there are a couple ways to combat this. The first is to add something like stones or pebbles, or in this case, aquarium medium. Or the example that I'm actually going to be using is something called perlite. And this is just puffed up volcano rock that helps drain your soil a little better. Also, there's nutrients. So when you do get about fertilizing your plant, you want to make sure that you don't do it too frequently, and you want to make sure that you are not over fertilizing, because that will actually burn the roots of your plant and it won't be able to take up any oxygen. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to pick your soil medium. In my case, I'm choosing regular potting mix and percolate. And then you're going to pick your pot. Make sure that it's bigger than the pot that you already have on existing so that it can be able to grow into it. Next, you're going to add enough soil and potting medium so that you can fill up just about enough that your plant, again, I'm just adding this potting soil and the percolate. I'll make sure that your plant rests about an inch below. So once we have enough potting soil, what we're going to do is we're going to take this plant, which is currently bone dry. We're going to add a little bit of water to it. And this just makes sure that the plant ball stays intact. Now, at this point, you should squeeze the edge of your plant, pull it out, and loosen up the root ball. If the plant doesn't come out on the first pass, it's okay to cut and hack at the root ball so long as you cleanly remove it. Next, we're going to place it in the pot, and we're going to add potting soil around it. Now, there's also a couple of extra things to keep in mind. After you've done this, keep it in appropriate lighting conditions. Make sure that you if you're using a decorative pot, you want to place the plant inside of the decorative pot so you don't cause any rot. So for example, this pot doesn't have a hole in the bottom, so that would instantly lead to root rot. Also, keep in mind that some plants like growing vertically, some plants like growing horizontally, like this plant. Should probably be in a wider pot because this plant actually prefers to grow wide. Ultimately, it doesn't matter, just because the plant will occupy any of the potting space that you have given it. After you have fully added all of the soil around the edge of the plant, you're going to give it one full water. And the reason why I don't suggest adding the filter or the coffee filter or the grating at the bottom is simply because after the plant is all nice and settled and you've watered it a couple of times, it won't matter that there is a filter at the bottom of it. So I'm going to give this one final little water. And then I'm going to press it down firmly. Now, this was a very quick and dirty demonstration. I'm going to let this drain a little bit. But after it's finished draining, you should have a plant that has about an inch of space from the root surface to the top of the plant, so any excess water doesn't fall out. So, in closing, repotting not only helps your plant grow, it also prepares them for success down the line, and there's no such thing as a green thumb. It's just a basic understanding of a plant and what it needs. So a little bit of insight into its basic biology can take you a long way.